In this video we're looking at Echeveria purpusorum, some of the varieties that are available and also some of the hybrids that come from purpusorum. So this is Echeveria purpusorum?
Purposorum, you're correct. This is just a natural species, and over the years it's been really favoured. Occasionally it turns up in tissue culture, but we decide to keep a few because it just fades in and out, and they do sell and people like them. They're very compact, very neat. But why I thought I'd show you these, it's quite interesting. This has been the mother of many, many hybrids. You know, a lot of the hybrids that we grow here, you can actually see purpusorum. You know, they have a really strong keel in them. They're really compact, got nice markings on the leaves and things like that. That's why I thought I'd show you a couple of different ones of them. So this is, you can see here, this is the purpusorum in here. I've taken all the leaves off them. I've stripped these. That's what's given us all of the leaves, right? Now, what we do with these, we're going to fertilise these again, and those will keep growing up, and it'll be next year's leaves. But this is what the leaves look like when we've picked them off. Now, a couple here are a little bit sunburnt because they're on the bottom. There's a few weak ones you pull out for rubbish, but you can see they're starting to do, I did this probably about 2 weeks ago, they're starting to turn red down here, and they're getting ready to grow. There's some interesting forms of purpusorum. There's one here called Princeling. This is at the back here, not much of this one. Not as many spots. This is an unusual one that we picked up somewhere. It'll be overseas. But that makes a really nice little plant and quite different from the original purpusorum, more compact.
So it's sort of smaller growing?
Smaller growing, doesn't have all the markings on it and stuff like that. And then here we have, I'll show you another area too. This is Monokerotis. This is a Korean hybrid, and this one actually gets variegation. You see a little bit of variegation down here, and we take cuttings of that. But Monokerotis, even the green form of it, is really quite a different green than the mother. And again, really, really compact. So that's another one that we do.
So that's purpusorum Monokerotis?
Well, no, it's actually Monokerotis. They've skipped the purpusorum because I actually think it's a hybrid. That's why they've skipped it.
Okay.
And here you go. These are mothers of variegates, which you don't get very often. And if you look down right behind you here, these are our Monokerotis variegated.
They're a really
Dionysos.
They're a really neat looking little plant, aren't they?
Oh, very neat and very clean. But you can sort of see they don't all go variegate. So only a few get the variegation. Some just get a yellow side to them, so they're highly variable. And we pick out the best of them to sell as variegates. This one here, that's what I call an extremely good variegate. Just a little bit of green in it, mostly yellow, and you can see how slow growing it is compared to the others.
Well, the variegation on that one seems really even.
And extreme. And
Whereas,
that's a really high value
that
plant.
one...
It's what you call random.
Yeah, it certainly is.
Yeah, this is what I call random variegation. This is probably the style that I'd be looking for. This is what I call like almost a perfect specimen. Just a nice flash here and there around the plant. Even one here. This is what I call the ultimate specimen to get with this.
So that's purpusorum variegate.
Not right, no. Monokerotis. It's a hybrid.
So this is Monokerotis.
But it's Dyonysis is the variegated form, and Monokerotis is the original form.
Okay, so is Monokerotis a species?
No.
It's a hybrid.
Hybrid.
So Monokerotis is
of purpusorum.
Okay.
Because we're talking about purpusorums here.
Yeah. So this is
you can see that purpusorum.
Yeah. So it's a hybrid.
See
so
the markings still under the leaves, right? You can see it's a really close one to purpusorum, but a hybrid. So, and this is really strong. Purpusorum is really strong. When it throws a baby, you can really see the purpusorum coming out in it.
Yeah.
Now here you got two other ones here. I think this might be an Australia one. This is what we call the grey form. Now this one throws so many puppies that's hardly worthwhile doing from leaf. Yep. So, you know, I just thought I might show you what we do here. We will repot one of these. You strip all the soil out and you just, you will take all the little pups off and we will repot these ones. This isn't what I call a really high demand plant, but it's a really interesting plant. We always clean them up, take old leaves off and make a clean stem, and that will be just potted. Old flower heads off. Look at that, see what we're going to get. Yeah, five, 6 pups off each one. And we'll repot the big mother in here. Or we might even sell the mother and take the new little ones. That's how we'll treat that one.
So you make sure you strip most of the old potting mix out.
Yeah, and just give them a fresh start. This is another hybrid. A friend of mine in Korea made this one, and it's called white purpusorum. His name's Kwa-jae. Now you can see it's really quite pale white. Flower just coming on it. Now you can grow from seed, but the problem is they're quite variable. You know, because it is a hybrid, they will throw good ones, bad ones, a bit more purpusorum-y, a bit more white. So my belief in plants really is what you do is you do select a really good one, but we do it from leaf cutting.
Okay, now Kwa-jae is a reasonably famous sort of a guy.
Yeah, very, very well
but
known.
a bit of a recluse.
Yeah, he's pretty hard to reach. He doesn't talk to too many people, and he is a really great producer of hybrids. He does around about 1,000 to 1,200 new hybrids every year, and we do try to get to Korea every year or so. Coronavirus has made a bit of a mess of it, but we generally go and visit Park and we pick out some of his best hybrids to bring back to Australia. But look, I'll show you how I do my leaf cuttings, and you don't do it like that, but you go down and across. That'll be right. It's got to come away clean. So I've given a little twist down, and once you start one, it's easy to go round, and I like to go round the plant like this. It's quite easy. You see, as long as you take them right at the stem, purposorum is reasonably easy to get off compared to some. Some are really difficult. Each succulent's a bit different getting cuttings. And I'll take it back to about this point here. Make it a bit even looking. That one off there. Yeah, one stripped plant.
So with that, do you then end up planting it more deeply, or?
Not well. Actually, probably these are still young and in a reasonable sized pot for it. I probably won't pot them this year.
Right.
But in another year, they will be repotted. They will actually fold right out and fill up the pot again.
Right. So you don't need to plant it
Straight away, no.
No.
Because it's maybe second year you might want to do it.
But could you drop it down a bit if it needed
You
to?
could, definitely. Definitely. You can see it's quite high, but it's actually good getting the stem out of the soil or gravel, you know, less rotting and things like that. Yeah. So that's cleaning them up. A few of the dead leaves off. And in 2 weeks' time, these will be dried out enough and they'll look like this. Yeah. See the little baby forming? We like to plant them just as those little pink roots are forming.
Right. So that's just been sitting here in the tray for a couple of weeks?
Yep, 2 weeks in the sun.
Yep.
Plenty of light, and these are nearly ready to be potted.
But it's not direct sun, is it? You're still undercover?
No, it's still undercover. Yeah, it's
Yep.
still undercover, but it's quite bright. But actually it's a little bit too bright here. You can see a little bit of sunburning on a few of them.
Yep.
But that won't kill that. That'll probably still, oh no, he's yellow, he's finished. But, you know, they're not too bad. You might lose one or two. But that is the Princeling. You can see that's well developed and easy to propagate. Purposorum a little bit more difficult, not as many heads, but look at that little bud in here. See that near the finger?
Yep, yep.
There you go. So they're all heading off, they're nearly ready. So I'm going to clean all these up today, and that's a bit of a look at purposorum.
Wonderful plant, absolutely wonderful.
Oh, really striking, look at the lines, marks.
So watering these?
Just like most other Echeverias, you know, a little bit. You leave them pretty much alone in winter. You might water them once a month, every 5, 6 weeks even. But once now it warms up, you can bring it up to every 10 days, 1 week if you want them to grow.
Yep.
If you don't want them to grow and keep them down, water them less, even up to 3 weeks apart.
And same, fertilise a couple of times a year?
Just a little bit of fertiliser a couple of times a year. Don't overfeed them because you really want to keep them small and compact. That's their beauty.
And how much light?
Oh, plenty of light. More light. Like this is quite a bright house. It's not direct sun, but it's indirect sun, and they get the best colours.
So if you've got them in direct sun, you can get a bit of burn on them?
If they've come out of, particularly if they've come out of a sheltered environment, this will take direct sun if it gets used to it and over the year. You know what I mean?
So it really
Purposorum is a tough one.
It is a beautiful little plant, and that red on the rib is a real standout, and you've got the little red markings as well, and it's really neatly formed.
Yep, and it is a mother of many hybrids.
There we go. So that's it for Echeveria purpusorum. Beautiful plant. There are a few varieties of it, and then of course there are all the hybrids as well. Subscribe to the YouTube channel for regular updates on a whole range of succulents and indeed a whole range of garden plants. And you never know what might be coming up next.